Hello, welcome, Cabbage here. With the Nier series' 15th anniversary, there's been a lot of acknowledgement by the Nier team of Reincarnation, to the delight of its fans and the dismay of its haters. But why promote it so hard if it is no longer playable? I thought I would take a video to look at the theories out there and offer some of my own, talk about the true nature of Reincarnation, and think about the next Nier game. And just to warn you, I won't do any visual editing, it'll just be a static image. You can listen like it's a radio show or a podcast. But first, regarding those haters, I wanted to dissuade fans from engaging with them in discussions about the legitimacy of Reincarnation. The matter is already settled, so there's no need for discussion. Reincarnation is getting the most legit validation with the Nier team promoting it in the 15th anniversary livestream, on the official webpage and Twitter account, in various official artwork, and the upcoming Famitsu magazine cover feature. There was plenty of validation before the game shut down in Yoko Taro's deep involvement in the creation of the game, and his infamous Reincarnation tweet, but seeing all the official public support for it after shutdown feels all the more powerful. There is nothing you or I can say that would be more legitimizing than that. I will make one comment on the haters, however. I think their hate is a mask to hide their disappointment at missing out on the game. And there's a life lesson here. It's dangerous to take all or nothing stances like mobile games are 100% crap, because it invites the possibility that it will backfire when something they love like Nier gets a mobile game that has so many important lore implications for the entire series. The haters needlessly put their pride on the line and left themselves no room to compromise. Thankfully, there is a way through for them. We'll get to that at the end. Regarding the future of Reincarnation, the thing I see most out there is hope for an offline version or a port. Those are 99% not happening because an offline version would have already happened by now, and a port would not work without major modifications to the gacha mechanics. You'd have to take all the costumes and weapons available in the Hatcher pool and make them available through quests or mission unlocks, potentially making the game even grindier. Or simply removing them all from the game, losing out on all the attached lore, having the player rely more on dark memory and recollections of dusk costumes and weapons, and adjusting the more difficult solo game modes to account for all that. In short, it would be closer to a remake than a simple one-to-one port. Not impossible, but Square Enix would have to be convinced to let it get made. People say they want things, but they don't think through what that would actually involve to have happen. What is much more likely is elements of Reincarnation will find themselves in future Nier releases. Perhaps major characters will make appearances or even be playable, maybe Fio and 10H, maybe Yuzuki and Hina since their Hamlin versions are proficient in battle. Perhaps the cage will be a playable area, perhaps we'll fight Daegyeon or the ball types or puppet types from the cage. Almost certainly, future stories will build off what was established in Reincarnation. It touched on a lot of topics and time periods from pretty much every game, including the Dragon Dragoon series. I think the thing a lot of people are fixating on too much, haters and fans, is Reincarnation the game, rather than Reincarnation the story. I said it repeatedly throughout the life of Reincarnation, but the gameplay was only okay, it was serviceable. The reason I stayed with it were the world, and the characters, and the story, and the music, all of which are still available through other media like YouTube videos, transcribed stories on various wikis, music CDs, and the materials book, which sadly only exists in Japanese, but people like me are working on translating what isn't available elsewhere. And this gets back to the question I raised in the previous video, what is Nier? Some people commented, and I agree with them, that the deeper we dig into Nier, the more we realize it is a multimedia beast. It's not just the games. The story is what truly matters, and in that sense, Reincarnation is still very much alive. And in my experience, Replicant and Automata were kind of just long movies anyway. I played them on Auto Battle because I can't be bothered to play hack and slash games in my old age. And now, if I need to pull scenes for my videos, I don't fire up the PlayStation, replay that part in screen capture. I go to YouTube and I rip it off somebody's video. Similar situation with Dragon Dragoon. I'm not going to buy a PS3, I'm going to watch a playthrough on YouTube. For me, all the games kind of exist in the same space. And this is the way forward for the mobile game haters. The mobile game no longer exists, so they don't have to engage with Reincarnation on that level. They can enjoy the lore and atmosphere and everything else through other mediums. The way is there if they can admit that parts of this one mobile game are worth engaging. I don't think that's a big compromise to ask. But yes, as long as you and I talk about Reincarnation, and as long as the Nier team talks about Reincarnation, it will not die or end. Based on what I've seen on both fan and official fronts, Reincarnation will be a part of any discussion about the Nier series. A while back, I made a video thinking about the next Nier game, and we can revisit that topic here now. One possibility is they will make a console game that recreates Reincarnation, but makes it more console-like, so world exploration that is not on rails, battle more similar to a hack and slash, and character and weapon acquisition based on player effort rather than luck. I would love this, especially if they made each character playable and like you could make your own party, but I don't feel like this is likely because 2B, 9S, and A2 are too popular. I got some pushback on this idea in that next Nier game video. Commenters told me that since no Nier game featured recurring characters, that the next one wouldn't either. First of all, that's not true. Emil, Devila, and Popola immediately come to mind. But second of all, how is that a convention after only 3 games? And when did we start expecting Yoko Taro to follow convention? Besides, pressure to include them in the next game would be tremendous from both fans and the higher-ups at Square Enix that want to turn a profit. If they released a console version of Reincarnation without 2B, 9S, and A2, a lot of people would be pissed and sales would suffer. So I long felt that 2B, 9S, and A2 would appear in the next Nier console game, and the 15th anniversary artwork featuring A2 makes me feel that even more strongly. People have asked why promote Reincarnation unless there was something coming. I ask the same thing about those insanely popular Automata characters. Is it to sell figures until the end of time, or is it to keep the characters fresh in our minds and hearts until their appearance in the next game? My ideal game would be a big ol' Yoko Taro send-off that mashes everything together, where we meet every character, get every weapon, fight every enemy, go to every time period, go to every timeline. Accord with Mama might make the most sense as a playable protagonist, but Accord does not fight, as far as I know, which makes me wonder about the gameplay. Maybe a rotating, playable character, I would be on board for that. Side note here, I was looking at wiki entries for Accord, and they make no mention about her connection to Mama in the cage. When it comes to Reincarnation, I feel like the wikis are very much behind updating their stuff. To end, I want to remind global players that there was a very real possibility that we never got Reincarnation in English at all. It was pretty much a guaranteed loss from Square Enix's point of view. It's scary to think. I probably would not have continued the Japanese version, and so probably would not have played any of the other Nier games, and, for what it's worth, I would not have translated any of Nier. But I'm guessing Yoko Taro and producer Saito valued us enough to push through the global version, and, as I've said before, those of us who are lucky enough to play through Reincarnation are part of an exclusive club, and we should feel proud of that. I won't say it makes us truer fans, or more loyal fans, but I will say it makes us luckier fans. It also reflects on us as people. We are more open-minded and willing to compromise on a type of video game we might not usually play. Those are admirable qualities to have in general, and we experience something really special that no one else ever quite will. I can understand if people are upset about that. Alright, that'll do it for this video. I'm going to get back to translating 10H's RD story. I'm halfway through actually, so hopefully those videos will be coming soon. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again. Take care.